I started celery and onion in here, but they didn't grow right. So I re-sprouted it with two greens. That's a Mizuna, but it's the pink and green stem on this that you eat, so they need to be thinned out. And this is an Asian green, and they look really kind of nice and kind of like bok choy or maybe even a collard green. So we are going to, there's a Mizuna leaf there. Some of them kind of look like a mustard. I think they're all going to be depending on the variety there. They're a free seed from Baker Creek, and I'll put a picture of the seeds on there so you know the name. But they're looking pretty good. I think something found that one. Maybe the guinea pigs for it. But there we go. Sprouted very well.
Are you happy out there?
Shadow, where are you going? Yeah, a couple of sprinkles, but look at the irises. I think they're the wild one or a dwarf one, like the wild one around here. These ones are finished up. But I get a lot of seeds. If anybody's interested, let me know. And then I got my grandma's yellow ones. And yeah, I think it is raining a little bit. Lots of oregano. And a money, eh? And a money. And a money. You cutting my lawn? Okay. It's doing a good job, actually. I need to trim it, but this guy's following behind. Hey, Sugar. Sugar. Oh, you're my honey. There's Mama and babies there, and they're doing a really good job. I watered that, and within, like, see how quick it grows? So, it will grow, for sure. These guys are doing a good job, too, aren't you? You shouldn't be all up here, though. You should be in your protected spot back there. Yeah, it's nighttime. Sorry, nighttime. And at nighttime. I don't know if you're going to be able to get a view of that, but they're actually doing a good job cutting the lawn back. It's nighttime, so kind of hard to see the thing on. Yeah, they're doing good. Cutting the grass, like eating it and packing it down. Pooping on it. Oh, we might get rain. I think the garden is way overgrown. Sunset's beautiful. Still a little bit of light. We got our garden ready to go there. Some mulch on it. Watering it in really good. All the layers. Dirt. Then water the dirt in. Then I got cardboard, and you water the cardboard in. And then you put mulch, and you water the mulch in. Because I have sand. Lots and lots of sand. That's my soil. So, there's some meats. But very, very sandy. You can tell. You can see the pebbles. So, I use a lot of mulch. When these meats come up a little bit bigger, they'll get mulch too. So, but you're not going to be able to see my garden, so I'm not going to do a tour. Some other time. It's kind of dark. I have more to put in everywhere, and I'm hoping it'll still give them a time to grow. But everything's started. It just has to go in. So, everything's still looking healthy. The greenhouse did a really good job. Highly recommended in the shade in the summertime. Let it have a little bit of sun, but not all day sun, or you'll burn things out. Buttercups are kind of pretty. They do attract a lot of bees. So, we got giant pumpkins from Gogo Mama. Right there. Got 2 more. We already put 1 or 2 in here. And we're going to give those to some other kids. Or we might just put them in here and give the pumpkins to some kids. But we got some. I watered in here with the hose. So everything's a little bit falling over until the morning. But it's kind of thinning out in here. Since I watered it, kind of a little cooler in here. See that pepper? That one kind of bent over anyway. So got a lot of little starts and more big starts put in the ground. Got some big. I think I'm going to keep them in the greenhouse, but plant them in the ground. So quick little update in the dark. Okra or okri. One or the other. I've never tried it before, so I'm hoping I actually get some. And if I keep it in the greenhouse, some in a pot, I think we'll be doing good with it. All those beets, and I think they're all beets. I don't know what pea means. P, smart, or SMT. It's not P. So it's probably beets. I had a lot of beets that I needed to plant up before they went in the garden. There's some popcorn. You ever seen white corn? Look at that. An albino corn. I'll leave you with that. Isn't that pretty neat? Put it in the garden, see if it does anything. It might not. But it's kind of neat. There's some more big okra. So, I'm happy with things. We'll see how well they grow. Oh, Cliffside gave me these, I think. If that is what I think it is. So I'm really happy that I got some really good. I think there's more. And of course, I didn't label them, so I can't remember what they were. But it's some type of mallow family. A native mallow family, so interested. Whole bunch of peppers. my grocery store challenge. I just put a lot of them in there. They sprouted good. That looks like a turnip too, and I never planted it. So that's pretty cool. I think the seed fell down in there, started on its own. And I wanted to show you. Put in more plants that will keep coming back as a perennial. But there's carrots that seed in themselves from the big carrot patch I had over here. Some flowered last year, I left them, and I let them flop over, so seeds went all through here. So why not let the carrots do that? I have parsnips that did that. This year, I have parsnip that wants to come up as a seed. Over here, wants to flower. So why not let it flower and drop seeds, and then I don't have to plant parsnip. There's 2 of them. So flop them over, or just drop the seed where you want, and don't, the thing is, don't dig in that, men. Leave it alone. You don't want to be messing around with it after they've fallen over and seed in there. You don't want to dig there next year. You want them to set down their root in the winter, fall and winter, spring, and then they'll start growing. And those ones will be really good to eat. Because they're doing it on their own. They'll probably be bigger because they're earlier. They've already climatized for the winter. So they're ready to get growing in the spring. I can't wait to get that bed planted tomorrow morning. And I got more down there to plant. I pulled a bunch of weeds today. At least I got them done. See, I got a gooseberry there now from my mom's house. I dug one up and it took. And horehound down here, another herb. I'm trying to get the seed for that for Lori, but I don't think I got any seed last year. So I'm going to let it flower. 2 areas that it's flowering. That buttercup is taking over in there. Pull it tomorrow. It's bringing in the pollinators though, so. But I have loganberry and 2 grapes. There's a grape there and a grape over here to grow up that mountain ash and choke cherries. Then there's sunflowers, but there's an apple there and cherries. Choke cherries, but there's no cherries. Tarragon. So we got things that, and all the beets. So you got things that are perennial, and strawberries are in here. Things that are perennial and things that are annual mixed up, kind of mix. You plant your annuals where the weeds are growing. And keep the weeds down is a good idea too. All those are strawberries, and I think they need to be weeded. And we got a whole whack load of runners starting again. And then our milkweed. Man, it's taking over, but the monarch butterflies need it, and some years they really need it, so I'm not ripping it out. There's some more strawberries. They're only looking little. I might have to fertilize them a lot more. Little Mary on there. And they're not wild, they're tamed. So, but yeah, they're all in there. So, hopefully they get going again. I think I need to wean them better and chop and drop around them. fertilize them for some bunny poop, maybe. There's catnip there, too. But I'm going to go because I could talk about my garden all day. Clover has lots of nitrogen in this bed. That might be why they want to send runners and not fruit. Too much nitrogen, they don't want a fruit for you. They want to send out runners. Reproduce that way. My green nitrogen is a greening thing. It sends out a lot of green material. So that green material is going to be runners, not fruit. So you need the other nutrients in there to bump up the fruit production. So I have to get into that. Go to bed, chickie chickies. Ariella. Hey, Google Man. You wanna go to bed, Ariella? You big girl. You big girl. Yeah, you big girl. You're my money, eh? You're my money? A splashy stranger. And there's a rooster splashy stranger. Yeah, you getting your gobbles. You getting your gobbles. And I'm to show you in the morning how the grass is. It's patted down pretty good, so they're doing their job. And that shade cloth is working really well. All started from seed, and they like to be in the shade over here. So that table's actually working pretty good for them. They get nice and green. That's an Asian green, and you eat the stem on it, I think. It's kind of, no, that one you eat the stem. That one you eat the leaf. That's kale. Okay, now I'm confused. That is the one that you eat the stem. That's not kale, that's a mustard. And it's like a mizuna, but you more or less eat the stem on it like a celery. And that one, it's almost looking like a muk choy, which I'm enjoying that. That's an Asian green. I think like that one. No, that could be the flower cauliflower. That's what that is. Now I know. The kale or cauliflower, the flowery stuff. And then that's kale. Like regular kale, not flowering kale. And that's the mizuna mustard stuffy. Like that one. Okay, I got it now. Sometimes when you transplant them and you forget the label, you gotta remember. So, it'll be nice to have these. I might need to separate them for them to do their flower thing. But I wanted them to get going really good over here before I mess with them anymore. Okay, this is the one that's got cardboard over top. And then dirt, and then shavings, bunny rabbit. Shavings over top, they're bedding. Used bedding, full of poop, yum yum. Plants will love it. I mixed up beans, sunflower, corn, flowers so they can all kind of climb up each other or fall over into the weedy part over here. Yeah, nice flowers. Oh, one pepper on the corner so it can get lots of sun and kind of keep the border clean. And then I have flowers to spill out over here where we didn't dig. And up here I have things that will spill over or climb like tall. So we can deal with that weedy mess in a little while. But I have a turnip and strawberries in here. Yep. We're gonna have to try that strawberry. Oh, yummy. It's supposed to be a white strawberry, but they can go red. They got pink flowers. Really nice. That's mallow. I have my peas starting over here. Carrots in here with peas all around. And then I got this one weeded. I have corn in here, but I also have tomatoes already planted in here and some peas up in the corner and where they can climb up the tomatoes. And I'll put the corn kind of on either side of the row here that you can walk down for now. Sooner or later you won't be able to. I'm keeping some of that wildflower thing for the peas to climb up on. A natural trellis. Peas love doing that. If you have sweet peas, they will grow up a bank full of flowers and other vegetation. They just naturally, that's what they will naturally do, climb up other things. But we make them a trellis. So I have peas here to climb up this, but I also have peas in here in between the tomato plants. And then I'll have corn mixed in there as well, but I need to weed it. I need to water it. See, I can't pull those daisies. They're a wildflower, my mom's favorite flower. It's really pretty. But I still have a lot of sunchokes in here that I can pull and make room for more plants. Which is good, because I have a lot more plants I started. When I couldn't get out here and start things, wasn't feeling up to it, had things to do, and when I couldn't do that, I started things in little pots. And I'm telling you, these are a perfect size for 1 or 2 little plants in there. But you want to get them in so they can grow. Sooner would have been better than now, but now is better than never. So they're going in, and hopefully we'll get some. This is popcorn, purple popcorn. But I have pink corn that I grew last year, and they're my own seeds to grow this year. And I have Bodalicious sweet corn from Johnny from the Shed Wars community from Will It Grow and Homestead Aquarius. So I am going to put that corn in somewhere else, and I'll show you in a minute. But I wanted to show you my weeds are like taller than me, and I had to pull them. But I think that might have been to my advantage because they're easier to pull. And all the rest of the weeds that were in there kind of went in the heat yesterday. And we planted last night. We left a lot of sunchoke, the little ones, in the garden. And we took the other sunchoke to the animals. Because the animals will eat that. The rabbits, the chickens eat the leaves. The rabbits eat the whole thing sometimes. So all of the animals got some. And some went back in the bed to feed the bed back. Because when you start pulling a weed that's as tall as you are, or even little weeds, you're pulling and you're removing nutrients right there. If you can clip it and leave the root in the ground, it's better. But it will grow back, but you're leaving more nutrients there. But if you pull, you're taking it out. So if you don't put it back somehow, which I chop and drop, not everybody does that. It does have more of a snail problem, but I don't get problems with snails on my tomato, my corn, or my peas. So I'm all good with that. You can put shavings. Mulch. I use bunny rabbit mulch. Pine shavings mixed with their poop and food and all of that in the garden. as a mulch. But when you're planting carrots, you can't really use a mulch. They're in pure sand. So when they come up, you know where they are. They're little tiny plants. They can't push out a mulch. Not well. If I use a mulch, it's thin and they can push it up. But I didn't use a mulch this time. And they're starting to come. But once they get bigger, I'll put mulch in between the rows. And that'll be much better. It'll hold water better. Because right now, I think something's coming out at nighttime, probably a snail, and eating the tops. That's what's happening. But the mulch wouldn't help that anyway. Having pure ground helps it, but it'll still all these little weeds. But I'm not pulling weeds when they're that tiny. I can't be bent over that long. But when they come up bigger, that's when I'll pull them, and then I'll leave them there for the carrots. So, this is a really long video already. Much love, everybody. I'm going to get that stuff in and then get her growing, get her fed, feed nutrients, coffee, stuff like that. Compost. More mulch. Much love. There's marigolds and calendula. And then there's popping corn, purple popcorn, more calendula, some more kale, and I can't remember the nasturtium flower. So we got them all to put in still. Oh, I'm going to keep some in the greenhouse. Some of the okra will stay in here because I don't think it's got time to finish. But that's okay. We're going to do the best we can. Get the most we can out in the garden. Got a nitrogen problem out there.